Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our second live stream that we're doing in English on the Stock Talk with Micah Stock channel. So if you're new, hello, everyone. My name is Micah, and here we talk about stocks, but we never provide financial advice. Everything is for entertainment and educational purposes only. We are an hour and 45 minutes from rate reduction, or actually the decision to reduce 25 basis points. And this is how the major averages look like as of this now. S&P 500 down 0.1, the NASDAQ down 0.1 as well. The Dow is still hanging in, up 0.48, and the Russell gave a lot back. It was plus 2% during the day. Now it's almost 0.3. The volatility index, the VIX, is down 15.8, and the dollar bounced on its long trend line, as you can see, going back all the way to, here it is, 2014. This is the line this is the ray actually that started 78.9, bounced at 89.4, and this is where we are today. As you can see, bouncing on this long trend line. So that's the dollar index. Will it break? We don't know, but sure enough, buyers stepped in. But the major event today was, of course, the massive disagreement among the Fed members. So let's dive in and see what happened an hour and 47 minutes ago. The Fed decided that they're lowering rates by 25 basis points. The decision, I want to say it's more hawkish than dovish because there wasn't any clear agreement on how exactly they're going to proceed forward. Why? Because the dual mandate has become very complicated. Dual mandate is the ability to manage between inflation and labor market, which inflation isn't at the 2% target. It's a bit higher. I'll do it this way so you can see my hands. Inflation is a bit higher than the 2%. It's around 2.7, maybe 2.9. But labor market is cooling off. And I think that's the main part that is making the Fed unease. But when I talk about massive disagreement, this is what I'm talking about. And this is the dot plot. On the dot plot, what you can see is what the Fed members, the different Fed members, not only Jerome Powell, thought of or where the rates should be by the end of 2025. And as you can see, there's one person, Miran, which was just nominated 2 days ago, which thinks that the Fed should reduce 5 times till the end of the year by 25 basis points to get us underneath 3%, while all the rest do not share the same idea. This is something that I don't remember ever happening, and this is exactly what Donald Trump wanted to happen. This disagreement, devaluing the Fed and saying the Fed doesn't know anything. My person inside, of course, this is him, although the name isn't there. It's clear. And this is where he is. All the rest are saying, okay, rates should be between 3.75 and 4, maybe another rate cut, not a lot more. While 2026, they're starting to kind of be around Miran as well. So the massive disagreement is making the market unease. And when we're talking about an unease market, it's not like the market is failing or falling, but it's not like the market is running. The market hasn't really decided where it wants to go. This is 2 p.m. rate decision. 2 p.m. rate decision. The market goes up. Then they read everything in the presser. 252. Up, back, and this is where we are. Exactly where we started. Volatility is the biggest problem that exists. And the volatility, of course, makes all the stop losses bounce and sell your stocks, etc. But we also got some news in the last hour. Google and PayPal forge a multi-year partnership to revolutionize commerce. Google, in the last few months, since it went over the 150-day moving average, has changed my perception of the company and I said it very, very vocally on the Hebrew-speaking channel, of course, where their products started becoming very good. Their marketing started to do a lot of things. It's like they woke up. Suddenly they woke up, and look at where they are. From 175 all the way to 250. Now they're cooling down a bit, but an amazing run. So that's Google and PayPal. Let's see what this announcement is doing to PayPal stock. Yes, it's breaking out of its descending triangle. As you can see, PayPal up 2.96 from the news. It's still under its 150-day moving average. We try to buy stocks that are above 150-day moving average and not underneath, because it just becomes resistance and it doesn't make sense. But we'll see. Let's look at gold after the decision. So gold broke an all-time high during the morning. Now it's cooling a bit, which is good. It will help other sectors in the market go up a bit. Let's look at the different sectors when we're 9 minutes before the close. Here they are. Financials up 1%. We're going to see a few financial stocks in a second. Consumer discretionary up 0.6%. And on the flip side, industrial and technology down. I talked about financials. Let's look at the XLF, the sector ETF. You can see it's at all-time high. Bank of America broke out today from its cup and handle. It has a huge cup and handle, a massive one. This is just the shorter term one. When you change it to a weekly view, they have a massive cup and handle. That's Bank of America. When you look at American Express, AXP, one of the biggest components of the XLF, broke out, where the breakout happened at 329.5-ish, and stop loss should be around 326. JP Morgan, earlier today, they were at all-time high. Let's see them now. Yeah, they're at all-time high. So banks are working good. Technology, let's look at the Magnificent Seven. So Google, we saw 2 days from all-time high. Apple, above their breakout, 237. It would be very interesting to see Apple. If the market starts ripping up like some of the commentators think, then Apple should be very interesting, by the way. Tesla, green for the day after a massive run in the last 5 days. In the last 5 days since Thursday, Tesla up 22%. 22%. Broadcom was at all-time high. It's correcting a bit. Again, when you're so close to all-time high, it doesn't really change anything. Amazon playing around with its breakout. Didn't break out yet. Structure looks kind of like Google before the breakout. Meta, again, above their breakout point. Microsoft, still not that strong. And NVIDIA. News about NVIDIA today. So, Chinese internet secretary, something like that, told different Chinese companies that they are not allowed, or they shouldn't, whatever the way they say it in China, to buy chips from NVIDIA. That, of course, made NVIDIA go down today by 2.6%. Jensen Huang earlier today, NVIDIA CEO, said that they can't sell to countries that don't want them to sell into those countries. But a quick reminder that during NVIDIA's conference call, they were very clear by saying we do not count any China numbers. They're not in our forecast. They're not in our earnings. We exclude China altogether. So I think this reaction is a bit over the top, but the reaction is the reaction. The market is the market. Palantir, during Trump's visit to UK, signs a £750 million deal with the UK government, probably for military use. Elliott Management revealed a $2 billion stake in Workday. That's why Workday is up 7% for the day. Something like that, 6.8% for the day. But look where it stopped. When you want to understand the power of the moving averages, look where it stopped. It's not a miracle that it stopped at 150-day moving average. It's just what happens. And what else do we have today? Yeah, Google and Reddit also combined forces. Let's move this near the other Google news. Where is it? Here it is. They actually didn't yet sign an agreement, but Google really wants Reddit data. And if you don't know why, the reason for that is Twitter. Twitter is it's the afternoon in the US, so I can't say that Twitter is a shit show. But if you're in Israel and it's different time zone, Twitter is a shit show. You can't really get anything from it valuable. While Reddit became the place where people went to have intelligent discussions. So you have a lot of interesting data coming out of Reddit, which Google really wants to train their models, Gemini and others. So that's why it was very interesting to hear that. And Lyft and Waymo partnered to expand their autonomous mobility into Nashville. That lifted Lyft stock by 14% last I saw. 13.2, yeah. I think the last correction kind of lowered my numbers a bit from the ones I saw 2 hours ago, but that's where we are. So, market. Let's summarize after the FOMC. Market, still red. This is not a crash. Believe me, I've been through Powell's speecher. When there is a crash, there's a crash. This is not a crash. This is just the market saying, I don't know what to do. Should I buy? Should I sell? Should I stay or should I go now? So that's that. Let's dive into a few stocks that you guys are asking. So Roni, Micah, thank you for everything. You're the best. Thank you very much. Marit is asking about RGTI. What's the price where the trade ends? That's the most difficult part of a trade. When does it end? RGTI broke out during a live stream a few days ago. 17.6. A lot of viewers used the live stream, put me on pause, and bought it while I didn't do anything. It's up 24.8%. It broke over its all-time high. RGTI is, it has currently very strong momentum. You can see the volume higher than the days before, but this might be the last leg of it. Why? Because usually on the last leg, so there's a breakout where you get the increase of volume, and then usually on the last day you get like the people that have to buy, and that's it. What I would do, Marit, if I were you, I would ask myself, is 22% good enough or is 20% good enough? So there are two options here. You see this all-time high, the 21.42. It should test it. If it drops underneath, then probably will go down. So that's one point of decision that you need to take. The other point of decision is look at the ATR. Say, am I willing to risk 6% for a stop loss? If the answer is yes, then do 6%. If the answer is no, do this. If the answer is I want to be with RGTI for all my life, then that's also possible. You choose. Roy Kahagi. Good evening, Micah. Yeah, it's good evening, good afternoon. Yeah, I was expecting a sell the news. Why were you expecting something? Guys, listen. The market is the market. We have no idea. We have 2 minutes till the end, till the closing of the day. We have no idea. Why would we expect? There's stop losses for that. We don't need to expect anything. NVTS, great engulfing candle today. Actually engulfs 3 days. Very strong. Volume's up. This I would consider starting something very, very, very strong. Let's see that it just pushes above the previous resistance here around the 6.5-ish, but this candle will probably take it further. And if it does, then we can take the 5.4, let's say that's a buck, all the way to 7.5, which is the exact resistance from previous highs. I would say 7.5 would be a good target. Pony. Let's check Pony AI. Pony AI broke out a few days ago. Now, as you can look down here at not down at me, but look here. See the drop in volume? Drop in volume, candle that's starting to form like a doji might tell us or guide us that we might see a bit of a correction. I would say to around 16.3. And then another continuation. Let's hear the bells ringing for the end of the day.
The unemployment rate's going to be particularly important, but the path is, I think, a little bit more unclear today to investors than it was 48 hours ago.
Why aren't people clapping?
Mike, also, the one dissent we got.
People fell asleep.
Is I could see some saying, well, that's way better than getting 3, because the one who dissented and has the outlook that we believe he has is the most of the outlier
BR Partners and Garmin.
To some of the others. So as the bell rings here, we'll follow all that.
Is ringing the bell.
We'll see stocks go out mixed here.
Garmin, I haven't used their watches in ages.
Are both
and BR Partners. So hello everyone. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning. I don't know where you are in the world. September 17th, 2025, the day the Fed started, or actually resumed rate cuts. The Fed reduces the rate by 25 basis points, and the market is still confused. Is it good? Is it bad? You might look at the scorecard and say, oh, the S&P is down 0.12. Probably it's bad. But that's nothing. The RSP equal weighted is actually green, which means that there are more green companies than red. Then why are we red? Because of the NASDAQ, which is down 0.21. Why? Because the Magnificent Seven are red. But the Magnificent Seven aren't really impacted by anything that was said by the Fed. So the market is confused. And that's where we are. That's it. Confusion. And we'll see tomorrow. I don't. This is not a market that's breaking. Roblox Corporation. What do we see here? So Roblox, an amazing run from 50 to 150. Amazing. I wasn't in it. I didn't catch it in time. I know when I'm defeated, I have no problem saying that. But now it's correcting. So what are we seeing? We're seeing an increase of volume by sellers. We'll need to wait. If it resumes its upward movement, we might see 140, and then of course getting or trying to get to around 150. Not sure about that. I wouldn't play Roblox right now. What about HOT? When does that end? Let's see. Wow. Okay, so HOT completed its cup and handle to a T. Ended at 37.7, which is amazing how the cup and handle played out. Now the question is, will it keep on running? That's the question Marit is asking. So Marit, I'll tell you this. If it keeps on running, enjoy it. If it doesn't, I would pull the plug around 35-ish, something like that. Take money home. If you bought the breakout at 24, amazing. That was 50% run. Wow. XP, American Express, broke out today. As you can see, we're at all-time high with American Express. Financials are soaring. Bank of America as well, all-time high. Financials love rate cuts because their financial activity grows. Why is the interest rate announced in the middle of the trading day and not at the end like reports from listed companies? Why do listed companies reports when the market isn't open? Why would we look, when we're doing something during trading, then everyone can participate, right? We can play along, we can put stop losses, we can enjoy the trading aspect of it. When things are reported after hours, assuming that there's still after hours, probably by end of this year, there's not going to be any more after hours. Everything's going to be traded. But let's assume after hours. Why does that happen? Let's stop with after hours. And then everything will reporting during trading. Let's assume 12 p.m. Instead of people going to eat their lunch, we have earnings. So I don't think that's the outlier. I think the outlier, I expect companies to report during the market hours. Why not? Think about it. Sar, thank you very much. Hood review. Hood. Oh. I know of one of my American followers that bought Hood, I think down here on 38. And he's like, what do I do with it now? So if you're listening to me, I don't know if he's on this live stream. But so Hood, where is it going? First of all, it's playing around with its all-time. I think it's its all-time high. Yeah, all-time high. A huge cup and handle formation, breakout. My biggest fear with Hood is, first of all, it has a gap. It's stretched from its 150-day moving average. But if it goes up, it goes up. I would put a stop around 106, if not 95. I wouldn't stretch it too much, but that's me. Hi, I bought QUBT today at 17.5. QUBT today at 17.5. Where is the stop loss? So you bought the breakout. That's nice. I would put the stop loss on the low of the day. Low of day was 16.5. That's where I would put the stop loss and just take it out. That's how I would see it. Hi, Micah. Please take a look at Plug. Plug is a relatively small stock, 2.3 billion. Yes, this is a breakout. Yes, this is a lot of volume. And this is an interesting thing. So I don't have any news on Plug, right? Otherwise, I would tell you and I would share with you the news. I don't have any news with Plug, but there is something happening with the stock. I don't need the news to know that because I just look at the volume and I'm like, okay. Average 54 million shares traded per day. It came in at 192 million. That's 4 times. Something is happening. So yes. By the way, let's summarize. Let's do this. Google Finance on the beta. See, I'm part of the beta kind of, I don't know if it's their experiment or the way they're trying. Okay, what's going on in the markets today? The markets today, preliminary focus on the Fed. That's true. This is how the major averages did. Announcement rate cuts. Okay. Lift we talked about. Open door. Stock is up nearly 16%? I don't think so. Really? Open door went up 16% for the day. I think it's not updated. 14.3. Wow, I'm surprised. Oracle dropped 2%. Dropped. Okay, corrected a bit after all-time high. Workday, we talked about it. And StubHub, IPO today. Let's do the same thing with Perplexity. Okay, Federal Reserve, first rate cut. We talked about it. Stocks hover near record high. Pause after rally. Okay, we understand that. Tech and AI, Workday, Oracle, Meta, and NVIDIA and Focus. We talked about all of them. Bitcoin holds above 116 currently, 115.8, which is okay. Oil prices fall back despite U.S. inventory drop. Euro US near 4 years high because the dollar is weakening, and volatility we know because of the Fed hike. Good. We got an AI summary of everything that happened today, and you guys had it from me without the AI. So Plug looks good. Qualcomm broke out yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, broke out above 164. It's good. I would place the stop loss around 161. Looks good. My target for Qualcomm would be around 207. I'm not playing Qualcomm, but I'm kind of an observer here. But that's how I would see it. AMPX. I have something to tell you guys. Bless you. Bless me in this case. AMPX. Wow. Okay, first of all, it's a small stock. Broke out today in a massive way, up 13%, volume increasing. This is how a breakout looks like. Put a stop loss here around 907 and let it rip. We have a cup, we have a handle, we have everything we're looking for. Great observation. Who mentioned that? Daniel. Great observation. Yes, it broke out. Definitely. George, thank you. Elad, what do you think about IONQ and Riot? IONQ, I think, is running. Yeah, it's running very, just like our GTI. So that broke out. If you're not in it, I wouldn't chase it, but that broke out. Riot. So Riot also broke out the 15.8, as you can see. 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 4 days. Yeah, 3 days after the breakout. Volume is still high, but it's starting to lose momentum a bit. I like both of them. Both of them broke out. Riot target is around 25. Riot has just started. IONQ, on the other hand, is already ripping. So be careful of that. What about our favorite shipping company, Zim? So if you're not on my Hebrew channel, there's a very interesting analysis that says that Zim is pretty cheap to its assets. So it has around $1 billion in assets, and if you add that other things that they have around, that they're valued almost the amount of cash they have. So they have a $5 billion debt, which is not due anytime soon. So that's nothing to worry about. Basically, they're kind of free. Their CEO and a billionaire wants to buy them. An Israeli billionaire wants to buy, want to buy and make it private. Now the board asks more people to kind of submit their interest or acquisition suggestion or something. Very interesting what would happen with the stock. I believe that it will end somewhere around 22, 23, unless everything falls and something bad would happen. So that's how I see Zim. Bar Levy. I entered Beam at 21 breakout. Beacon. So let's do one of them. Beam broke out and then got frightened. So I would tell you the following. First of all, you're still profitable because you entered at 21. At least that's what you wrote down here. First of all, don't lose money. Don't lose money. You don't know the stock. It doesn't know you. You're not friends. Leave everything behind. Put a stop loss on where you entered. If you want to add a bit, that doesn't matter. If it keeps going up and it breaks out, that's amazing. It should be above 22.8. Okay? Nitai, someone told me that he invested on the Quant UM and did last week 40%. That can be real and regular investment. Last week I made 34%. Not Quant and not anything. But at least I know how I made it. You want to know how I made it? I'll tell you. Not because I invested smart. Not because I traded smart. What I did was something very, 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 very gambly. I'm not even sure there's a word that's called gambly. ORBS. So an 8co went up 5,000%. I put money on it. And I took it every time. It doubled. That's all. Can I do it every week? No. I know I can't do it every week. This was a miracle of nature. You know. So would I go out and say, oh, I made 34%. Just follow me, follow my trades? And no, because that's not going to happen. So if someone tells you 40%, great. It doesn't mean that they're lying. It just means that they're not fully transparent by saying how they did it. At least I'm transparent. I'm saying it's not going to happen every week. When I see a 1% gain per day, I'm like, wow, that's amazing. When someone else sees 1% a day saying, oh, I can't make money. If I do 1% every day, guys, that's crazy. Do the math. Jonathan, are you here? Do the math, 1% a day. Young Dreamer, give us the math. 1% a day. 4 out of 5 days. The 5th, I'm on vacation. I can do it. You know what? Let's ask Perplexity. Why am I thinking? Let's do it here. Let's assume I have 10K and I gain 1% every day of the week. Let's do every day, just to ease of mind. How much compound will I have in a year? Let's do 5 days. Python. Use your calculator. Oh, no, it's 365. No, I didn't want 365 days. Let's assume only 200 days. 3,778%. Okay, guys, you're cool. You're smart. It needs to run Python and all that. Okay, out of 10,000, I would have 73,000. Do you really think it makes sense to do 1% a day? Guys, come on. These are amazing stories, but they're anecdotes. You can't really do it. I wish I can. 10,000, 73,000. That means if I had 100K. Come on. Who knows the answer? Very fast. It needs Python? Come on, add another 0. Let's see if it gets to the same number. Yes, it does. If you had $100,000, you'll have $731,000. That's amazing. $731,000. That's crazy. Okay. So, stories aside, reality aside, let's talk about things that are not stories, like Tesla. Did you hear that they're redesigning the door so people will understand that they can pull the lever and get out when there's no electricity during a crash? That's what I just heard. 73K. You're right, guys. You're right. 730K on a 100K investment. That's amazing. So, Nitai, tell them where I can also do 40% a week. I'm buying 40% a week any given day. Any given day. But it's not realistic. SoFi. SoFi is, or actually was at all-time high. Yeah. No, actually, no. Sorry. No. It's bouncing against its all-time high. All-time high, 28.26. It's stuck there. It had an amazing run. Look at these higher lows. There's a trend line. If it's above the trend line, you're good. If it drops underneath, then just be careful. Okay? Just be careful. Guys, keep the English language on the comments, please, so everyone would understand them. Thank you. Actually, I pinned that message. You know that YouTube suggested that I put ads during the live stream, and I said, no, I'm not putting ads on live streams. That's crazy. They said, no, it's going to be side by side. I said, no, it's not going to happen. Hi, Micah. What about QUBT? I see everyone here is a quantum guy. Maybe because of Nitai that has his quant guy and all that. QUBT is okay. It's just there's these higher lows and there's lower highs here. And it's there's an apex here that eventually will resolve itself. I have no idea how it will resolve itself. But currently, it's going up. And people like stocks that are going up. QBTS. Rejection at 138.2 Fibonacci. Too complicated for me. QBTS, D-Wave. I don't see rejection because I see the stock going up in after hours another 1.3%. What I do see is a stock that is running very, very hot on no specific news that we know. I assume we're probably going to hear the news in the next few days. I don't know what it was, but as you can see, it went up almost triple the volume only today. And that's why the stock is up 18%. If you had this line of resistance that turned into support, then that was a good place to start buying, or actually to enter with the stop underneath the light blue line. Of course, I wasn't there, but I'm just saying in hindsight. What about AppLovin? Wow, I haven't seen AppLovin in a while. It's on its way to achieving the cup and handle. The target is still 660. Nothing has changed. Volume is still increasing. People are still buying the stock. Great. Matan Levy, thank you very much. What about crypto after what happened today? Nothing happened with crypto. Crypto is stuck. It's like look at Ethereum. Oh, that's good. When I started the channel a few years ago, not the English channel, the Hebrew channel, people would say, crypto, oh my God, I can't stand the volatility. It's going crazy. And it was crypto. Now, Ethereum, its ATR, average true range, is 4% a day. Most of the stocks you guys asked are more than 4% of the day. So people are not investing in crypto because it's volatile? Really? That's crazy. Look at Ethereum, guys. There was a doji an hour ago if you're on the Hebrew live stream. Now we're getting a hammer candle, which is usually a very bullish sign for Ethereum. And if that's the case, and we are above our trend line, don't say you didn't hear it here first, but that means that we will not drop, or let's say it in the other way. If we drop under 43.78, that wouldn't be a good sign. But if we keep going up, this is a very, very bullish sign for Ethereum. So Ethereum looks good. Bitcoin, it's not breaking, but it's like, okay, nothing burger. Not more than that. Bao, thank you very much. BNKE, BKNE, I think. BNKE? What is BNKE? Are you sure about the ticker bar? Right? I'm looking at your comments, right? BNKE? Are you sure? The NKE? I don't even have that. It's your, what is it? Multi-unis? Let's assume this is what you're asking, which I have no idea what the stock is. It has higher lows, above 150-day moving average. It looks okay. Again, I have no idea what the stock is because I don't know what it is. But okay, those were most of the questions. Let's check out a few more. So Bitcoin to the moon, Jerry says. I hope. I'm willing. You know, I'm okay waking up tomorrow morning, taking my phone, which is the first thing I do in the morning. Yes, before brushing my teeth. I know it's bad. And seeing Bitcoin is up 1,000%. I'm cool with that. I have no issues with that, believe me. On my earpiece, someone says that Wolf looks good. Let's check Wolf. Yes, Wolf looks like a very decent, also not only cup and handle, but also another small cup and handle. The momentum is good. Just be careful with how it's stretched, but the volume is increasing, so it's running. So let's play it. Mara broke out yesterday, kind of got the flu, went down back to around 16.7. Let's see it tomorrow. If Bitcoin goes up, Mara will go up. Oh, it's a US bank, a EU bank. So, okay. So it looks okay, BK. It looks okay, Bar. Higher lows, higher highs. A good trend line. It looks okay. Justin, Red Cat Holding announced proposal public offering of common stock. RDCT. Red Cat. RCAT. Sorry. And they're going to drop by 12% because of their offerings. What else do we have here? SQFT? Never heard of that. SQFT, Presidio Properties Trust. It's a $12 million stock. I don't even know if it's a pump and dump or it's a true story. I don't do these kinds of stocks. So only above $1 billion or $2 billion. That's all. I think, how many subscribers on this channel do you expect to have? I don't have, Linoy, it's a very good question. I don't have an answer. I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying these live streams on the English channel, and the amount of subscribers, I don't have any targets on it. I'm just having fun. Every Wednesday, middle of the week, where we were, where we are, and where we're heading. Tomorrow, and a very, very, very interesting day in the market, because everyone now is kind of digesting what happened with the Fed, and tomorrow we're going to see. If they come back bullish, we're going to see a melt up, face ripper, use whatever word you want. If they come back and they're afraid, which I don't see a reason for, but the market is the market, we might see the correction that we're all afraid of, but also expecting. That was me. Thank you very much. I'll see you all on Saturday, if you're on the English channel, of course. Saturday evening. Weekly summary. So till next time, thank you very much. Ksenia, thank you very much. And I will see you all in the Hebrew channel tomorrow morning, in the English channel. And you know what? Maybe in the English channel we'll also kind of have a few rooms in, I don't know. We'll see. See you all. Thank you. Good night. Bye-bye.